We're gonna flip through this journal today. It is from 2024. I kept it throughout the month of October. It's a little different than anything I've done before just because it's ring bound. This was the first time that I'd ever done a ring bound journal and I kind of liked it and it was kind of fun. So the cover is this vintage book cover, the Ghost Parade. I thought that was kind of fun. And I just cut it and then wrapped what was left of the cover material over the edges to finish it off. So then there was something written here. So I put this label here and it says open if you dare. And then she's looking for something with a flashlight. So I thought that was very October appropriate. I just made like a little cover page here. Picture of my girls in their Halloween jammies. This was a pocket. So I did some journaling on this note card. This is like a vintage, the word is escaping me at the moment. Flash card? No. Definition card? Why? I don't know what the word is. Well, whatever it is, it defines ghost, specter, phantom appearance. This pocket's a little tight. I feel like it wasn't that tight before, but it's okay. This is a pocket page, like a clear divided page protector. It is cut down from a larger page just to fit this, but these three are sewn off at the top. They've got some glitter and some like hole punched things in there, so they're sewn so that it doesn't fall out. And I swear I was gonna put something here, but apparently I never did, so the back is a little bit incomplete. That's okay. I did a lot of this in this journal where I got on my computer and just typed out my journaling and then printed it out and cut it into strips and glued it down, and I kind of like the way it looks. It was a little bit different. I usually handwrite a lot of stuff, but I did some more typing here and I liked it. I'm not a huge fan of my handwriting, so I just like the way that that looks. This is just a card that was like a print for decoration. This is, I used a die cut and cut this out of some paper, and I was gonna glue it somewhere, I think, but then I found out that the paper was a sticker, which I didn't know. So that worked out really nice. And I put it on this little glassine bag, and there's a tag in here, and I used some labels to just set off some journaling on the back of that. This is just decoration, and this little star paper clip keeps it held on there. These two pages I put together to be a pocket, and I did some journaling on this old note card that the previous owner was keeping track of birthdays, so I pulled the October one and used that. And then it just slips into that pocket. Here we got a pet costume, and I tried it on our dog and our cat, and they hated it, so I didn't make them wear it for very long, but it was a cute picture. This is just a math flashcard, 3 + 1 for 31. There's a little tab that I made with my tab hole punch. I was looking to see if it's easily accessible so I could show you, but it just punches out the tab out of whatever paper you want, and then you can fold it in half and staple it on. And then I used some stamping to add, this is magic and spooky. Then I used a bat die cut and cut out a bunch of little paper bats and put it on vellum. And I think that looks really cool over this sort of space image. This is from like a vintage book or textbook or something, I think. But I was really proud of that. That looks really neat. So this is then a pocket sewn together, and I tucked this little fold thing where I wrote like a October bucket list, and I was checking them off with these black stars, and apparently I left the stars in there. And I know we did more of these things, but I lost track after a while of checking them off. But that was kind of fun. There's another tab on there, and it just tucks into this little pocket at the top, which is very thick because the back has stuff on it too, but that's in there. Then this is a photo from our trunk or treat event, and it's also a pocket. So then this tag pops out with, again, some typed journaling about the trunk or treat on that. And then there's a photo here of the costumes the girls wore, but a silly version on the back. One of the things I really like about this approach was that I could add stuff like this in this clear pocket page. This is a 4x6 clear envelope or clear photo page. And like the vellum and just this flashcard. I don't know, it just, the different sizes and the different textures feel fun, and it's something different, and it is just a different approach to it. So that I had a lot of fun with that. This is another flashcard. This is some fabric from some drawstring bag that we had for something. I can't remember what we got it for, but I just cut some of the fabric down because it has the moon and stars on it, and it's black but sheer, and it's just, again, another fun texture in here. This is a pocket something, I don't know what you would use it for, but I have a whole bunch of them, and so I stuck one in here and then made this shaker tag. So I cut the moon photo out of something I had and then used some clear acetate and sewed it on top with some different sequins and stuff in there. And then I used the back. It just flips up and the journaling is underneath the photo. And then this is a laminated leaf. So I usually press flowers and leaves in the microwave because, one, I'm impatient and it doesn't take as long, and two, I find that it preserves the color better. And this leaf's still orange a year later, which is really cool. Mostly because it's because it's laminated. It didn't lose the color in the microwave, and then laminating it prevents any oxygen from getting to it and continuing to change its color. So that's pretty cool. And then this is just a wood chipboard piece, and I used some double-sided clear tape on the back to affix it to that. There's another picture of the leaf. These were some books that I read throughout the month. I was hoping to get to 4, so it'd be a nice even square, but got to 3. Here's another vellum page, and the comet that was going by at that time, and I managed to get a photo. You can just see it in it. So here's another photo and some more typed journaling, and then another like little divider thing. I just really like the different sizes and stuff. It was a lot of fun. Another thing is I could change things and move things around throughout the month. So that was fun. If I like forgot something, I could go back and do it because you just open up the rings and move stuff. So I liked that. Here's where things fell apart a little bit. There's supposed to be some journaling here, but I never did it. That's fine. Maybe I'll go back and do it yet before I officially call it finished, but maybe not. I don't know. And another one of those clear pages from our Booth the Zoo visit. And my middle list. Here's some movies that we watched, and then in here is a photo from, they have All Saints Day at school. Well, my youngest was a unicorn. She wasn't in school at that point, but the other two went as saints in school, so I stuck their photo of that in the envelope in the back. And then there's the back cover. So yeah, it was pretty simple. It's very easy to do a ring bound journal because you don't need a lot of technical skill. You just need a pretty good hole punch, really, to make it. So that was fun. And like I said, it's very flexible and adjustable. I now have several different sizes of rings to do bigger books. When it gets pretty chunky, you're going to need a bigger ring. And then as the rings get bigger, they get a little bit more noticeable or like in the way. But at this size, it's pretty manageable. And I thought it was a really good one for the month of October, just because, I mean, there's enough happening to fill a whole album, but it's not crazy. So I don't need anything too super big and thick. I'm not sure. I don't know. I really like the way it turned out. I'm thinking about doing the same format for my December journal this year. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, so if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them below. If you're doing an October journal this year, I'd like to see it. So leave a link or something or a comment so I can go check it out. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.